Hi everybody, welcome back to today's SPAG lesson. This is the second lesson about apostrophes for possession. We've actually this is our third lesson on apostrophes this week. So today we're going to make life a little bit trickier. But before we do that, we're going to go back and look at the golden rules we've learned so far, all right? So the first golden rule. Oh, do you know what we haven't done? I haven't asked you to pause the video. Pause the video for me and write your date and learning objective. You should be able to see it just above my head. And don't forget that if you're doing this lesson from home, this date will be wrong. So if you're not sure what the date is today, you need to ask a grown-up. And sometimes if you look in the corner of your laptop screen where the time is, okay, you can see the date. Okay, but if you're not sure, ask a grown-up, all right? So, you should all be sorted. Pause the video if you're not. Are you ready? Okay, let's recap golden rule number one. Golden rule number one is that you must never, ever, ever use an apostrophe for a plural because it makes Mrs. Thompson cry. Okay, now a plural this was supposed to be a gif of a crying baby, but for some reason it's not working. So you'll just have to imagine it, okay? It's actual, actual footage of Mrs. Thompson crying when she sees these apostrophes. Okay, let's cover that up. Poor baby. So, you can see here, these are pictures of real signs from different shops and various different places around the world where grown-ups have got apostrophes incorrect. They've got it wrong. And now that you've seen this, you will start to spot it all around your hometown. And whenever you see somebody using apostrophe incorrectly, it might start to drive you crazy. Hopefully it won't make you cry like it makes me cry. So a plural, remember, is when you've got more than one of something. So we talked about one sausage. That's my singular because I've got one. Or two sausages. And sausages is my plural. But I never have an apostrophe when I've got a plural. So here, for example, snacks. So if I've got one, I've got a snack. And if I've got two, I've got two snacks. I should just have S-N-A-C-K-S without an apostrophe. But this person, Silly Sally, they've got it wrong. They've put an apostrophe here. Okay, pies. Okay, if I've got one, I've got one pie. And if I've got two, I've got two pies. But this person has got it wrong several times in their sign. Look, they've put an apostrophe for a plural, which we must never, ever do. And this person here says open Sundays. So it's like maybe a shop sign or something like that you might see in a sort of a shop or a cafe window to show that they are open on a Sunday. But they've got an apostrophe. This is open Sundays, open every Sunday. So it's open on more than one Sunday. So we shouldn't have an apostrophe here because that's a plural. Okay, so next time you go out and about on your daily walk or you go to the park to get some exercise or maybe you're walking through town, see if you can look out for signs and places where they've used apostrophes incorrectly. And just quietly think to yourself, I know, you don't need to say anything. Oh, I know they've used that incorrectly. So it'll make you feel really, really brainy because even some grown-ups get it wrong sometimes. So that was golden rule number one. Golden rule number two, and we're going to go back actually to a slide I showed you yesterday. Golden rule two is that the apostrophe, if we're doing possession, it goes after the thing that does the owning. So here we've got the Queen's crown, and the Queen is the one who owns it. So the apostrophe goes after the Queen. Okay, and then we've got our S on the end. So it goes before the S. The Queen's crown, Bob's helmet, Elsa's hair, Harry Potter's scar. It goes before the S on this occasion because we've got one person who's doing the owning. Now today, we're going to think of things that are a little bit more complex because in this situation, there's only one person who owns that scar. It's Harry Potter. Okay, but sometimes there is more than one person who's doing the owning. Okay, and that does make our life a little bit difficult. So here we've got Mrs. Thompson's bun or Mrs. Thompson's hair. Okay, which should look like this. Oh, it's Mrs. Thompson's hair. Okay. So it's Mrs. Thompson, me, who does the owning. I'm the one who owns the hair. Very messy hair in that picture, actually. So that's why my apostrophe goes after my name, because I'm the one who owns it. See if you can do this one on your own. This time it's Mrs. Thompson's glasses. So see if you can write just on a bit of scrap paper or a whiteboard or something. How do you think that one looks? Are you ready for the answer? Pause if you need to. Mrs. Thompson's glasses. Okay, with the apostrophe in the exact same place just like before, because I am the one who owns the glasses. Those glasses are a bit like Harry Potter's glasses, actually, aren't they? Like round. So, it's all very well and good if one person owns the glasses, or if one person owns the hair, or the scar, or the crown. We know what to do there. But what if there's more than one person who owns something? What do we do then? Because it is still possession. It's still owning something. So we still need an apostrophe. But the rule is that the apostrophe, if we've got more than one person doing the owning, if we've got a plural, instead of going before the S, like this, it goes after the S. So, for example, this is our golden rule number 3, okay? So, here, the children are the ones who are doing the owning. So my plural is children, okay? And my apostrophe is after the thing that does the owning. And the children are the ones who own the lunch. Very complicated, I know. So here, look. Who are the ones who own the leads? Well, it's the dogs who own the leads. The apostrophe goes after because we've got more than one person or thing doing the owning. Let's have a look at some more examples. Hopefully it'll get a bit clearer. It's quite tricky when you first start this. Okay, so here we've got some singular examples. This is the bowl that belongs to the cat. So the apostrophe goes after the thing that does the owning. In this case, it's the cat. So it's the cat apostrophe S, the cat's bowl. And this is the girl's toilet, because it only belongs to one girl, this girl with a lovely dress on, okay, who for some reason is standing on the toilet. It belongs to her, just one person, okay? So that's why my apostrophe is after girl, okay? If there were more than one girl who owned that toilet, look, my apostrophe would go after the S, because I've got more than one. This is a sign that you might see at school or in a cafe. This is the toilet that belongs to more than one girl. Okay, many girls. In year 4, we've got lots of girls who all use the same toilet. And so it belongs to more than one girl. So my apostrophe goes after the S. And the same over here. So this bowl belongs to one cat. And so my apostrophe goes after the thing that owns it. That's just one cat. But here, look, the bowl belongs to more than one cat. So the apostrophe goes after the S because we've got more than one cat who owns that bowl. So, hope that makes sense. We are going to try a quick quiz together now. And in class, we're going to vote for the correct answer. So, let's have a look. I've got a sentence here. Let me move myself out of the way. So, remember, the apostrophe goes after the S if I've got more than one. So, what is the thing that's doing the owning? It says, umbrellas' handles are sometimes made from wood. So the handles that belong to umbrellas are sometimes made of wood. So here, my apostrophe is after umbrella. I've got one umbrella. That can't be right. This one, there are too many S's and too many apostrophes. That's a bit confusing. So I think I'm going to click on this one. Okay. Oh, it's not working in this situation. Don't know why. It doesn't like me recording it, maybe. Okay. So the answer that you should have gone for is the umbrellas handles. So the handles belonging to umbrellas, plural, are sometimes made from wood. Okay, let's try another one. The fairy's wings shimmered in the moonlight. So the wings, imagine you've got a group of fairies, okay, and their wings are shimmering in the moonlight, okay. Remember, if you've got more than one fairy, the apostrophe goes after the S. So see if you can figure out which one of these three it is, and I'm going to tell you the answer in a second. It is this one. So well done if you managed to guess that one correctly. Okay, let's try another one. People's beliefs shape their way of thinking. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So, pause the video. Which one do you think it is? Okay, and the answer was this one here. People, because it's the beliefs of people, people's beliefs. Okay, so that was quite a tricky way of introducing this, but what I'm going to ask you to do now is write a couple of sentences, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you some examples, okay? So, here we go. So, I've got a picture of some boys, and they are wearing gowns. So, this is in Thailand, where it's traditional to wear gowns that look a bit like this. And these are the gowns, more than one, that belong to boys, more than one. Okay, so they are the gowns that belong to these boys, and there's more than one boy. So the apostrophe goes after the S. Okay, so you can see the boys' gowns were long. See if you can write me another sentence about this picture. You can write it in your home learning book. Don't forget that apostrophe. So you might write a sentence about the colour of the gowns. Okay, or you might write me a sentence about the boy's hair in that picture. Okay, don't forget your capital letters and full stops, and you must have an apostrophe. Okay, let's try another picture. So this time there is no, actually I'm going to skip that one. It's quite tricky. Okay, I'm going to write a sentence here. So I'm going to give you an example sentence, and then I'm going to ask you to write one of your own. So the doctor's patient was asleep. So I've got more than one doctor, and the patient belongs to all of them. Okay, so my apostrophe goes after my S. See if you can write another sentence in your home learning book that goes with this picture. So you might talk about how the doctor's patient is feeling. You might write a sentence about the colour of the gowns, or what they've got on their hands here, or what they've got on their faces. Don't forget, whatever sentence you choose, you need to have a plural apostrophe. So the apostrophe goes after the S when you've got more than one person doing the owning. Okay. Now, that was quite a tricky lesson today. It's really hard to do apostrophes for possession if you've got more than one of something. So it's quite a lot harder than yesterday. If you're doing this lesson from home, I want you to take a picture of your work, send it across to me. So all I should be seeing is 2 sentences in your SPAG lesson from today. So send those across to me. Hopefully you've managed to get your apostrophes in the correct place. And don't forget, next time you're out and about with your family or friends, look for those misused apostrophes. Okay. And then, you can go home and tell your parents or carers at home about, oh, you'll never guess what I saw. Or if you're going out and about with your parents and carers, you can point out any misused apostrophes to them, and you can explain to them why they are incorrect. Okay. And don't forget, never use apostrophes for plural.